A very good morning to my dear students. I hope that you are doing well and keeping safe at your homes. In the last class, we just started the 5th chapter in your supplementary reader entitled as The Last Truck Ride, written by the famous writer Ruskin Bond. So the story was all about, as you know, a truck owner called Preetham Singh and his cleaner boy Nathu. Being a truck owner cum driver, Preetham Singh used to go for many trips to the limestone quarries for carrying loads of limestone. And even though he was settled enough, he wanted to earn something as his own. So in the last class, it was clearly understood that he had well-to-do children. They were all settled in Punjab and they were leading a very satisfied life. But even though Preetham Singh was settled, Preetham Singh was financially well, he was not at all able, he was not interested to be reliant to somebody else, even to his children. Instead, he actually wanted to lead a self-reliant life. So that is what in his late years he was actually going for job to draw something as his own. So in that way, he owned a truck and he used to go to limestone field in order to take loads of limestone, and so in that way he was very anxious to get at least 2 trips every day, because for each extra trip he would get extra money. Okay, so at that time he was really in need of a helper boy, and at that time he came to know about Nathu, and he was impressed by Nathu, and as a result Nathu got appointment as a cleaner boy in his truck. And while they were actually going to the limestone field in order to take loads of limestone, there occurred a deep conversation between them. So in that way, in the last class we stopped at a point where when we spoke about a conversation that happened in between these two people. Okay, so actually in the last class we were actually going with page number 42, and there occurred a conversation between these two people. They were actually speaking about Preetham Singh was actually asking about his own land, his own place, and Nathu was answering to all those questions. So in that way we stopped, or we covered up to that, up to page number 42. Okay, now let us move to the next part of the story. All of you please take page number 43. Here we are going with the page number 43. So I am going to read the first portion for you, so please do listen and read along with me. Preetham Singh brought the truck to a halt. So suddenly he stopped the truck. "Let us wait a bit," he said. They sat in silence, staring through the windscreen at the scarred cliffs about 100 yards down the road. There was no sign of life around them. So then they took a halt. That means they stopped the vehicle, and Nathu and Preetham Singh was actually waiting for their turn. When loads of limestone was ready there, yeah, the workers would definitely call them. Then they had to go to the concerned place in order to take loads of limestone. So for that purpose they took a halt, or the vehicle was being stopped at a particular point, and they were actually waiting for the workers' call. Suddenly, the hillside blossomed outwards, followed by a sharp crack of explosives. Earth and rock hurtled down the hillside. Now, look at the expression used there, blossomed. What do you mean by blossomed? Yeah, blossomed means it is likely to give flowers. So here, what is being blossomed here? Yeah, see, look at the picture given there on page number 43. Yeah, one could easily find the picture of small pieces of rocks and all other things got blasted through the mirror of the vehicle. So that is being described here as blossomed. So when a blasting was occurred there on the limestone quarry, even small objects got blasted, and they moved rapidly down the hillside. So that is what here described as blossomed. See, when a blasting was happened there, even small objects got blasted, and they started moving rapidly. So okay, so that is what being described here as earth and rock hurtle. Hurtle means move rapidly. Earth and rock hurtle down the hillside. So if you people visited a quarry, you would easily find that when a blasting happened or occurred there, as a result of the blasting, one could easily find that small objects near the blasting area, started moving at a very high speed as a result of the blasting. So that is actually being described here. Nathu watched in awe as shrubs and small trees were flung into the air. Yeah, so Nathu was watching all these things in a fearful manner. He could see shrubs. Shrubs means small plants. So he could see small plants and small trees were flung into the air as a result of what? As a result of this huge blasting. It always frightened him, not so much the sight of the rocks bursting asunder, but the trees being flung aside and destroyed. So, the only image he could see while a blasting was occurred there was the image of destruction. Even the trees, even the shrubs, and everything got blasted, and they were actually flung into the air. He thought of his own trees at home. Suddenly, it actually reminded his own trees at home, the walnut, the pines, and wondered if one day they would suffer the same fate, and whether the mountains would all become a desert like this particular range. So whenever he saw this sight, it would remind him about his own trees like the walnut and pines, and he thought that if such a situation happened to those trees also, how the place would be. The place would just be like the place now they were. No trees, no grass, no water, only the choking dust of the limestone quarries. So if such a thing happened, there would not be any trees, there would not be any grass, there would not be any water. So only the choking dust of the limestone quarry. The one thing which could only see there was the choking dust of the limestone quarries, if such a situation occurred to his place. So in that way, he thought such things. Okay, Pritam Singh pressed hard on his own again to let the people at the site know he was coming. So suddenly he pressed the on. It was actually a reminder. It was actually a reminder to the workers at the quarry field to be noticed that Pritam Singh and Nathu were coming. Soon they were parked outside a small shed where the contractor and the overseer were sipping cup of tea. So, and at that time they parked their vehicle outside a small shed where the contractor and the overseer were actually having a cup of tea. A short distance away, some laborers were hammering at chunks of rock, breaking them up into manageable blocks. A pile of stones stood ready for loading, while the rock that had just been blasted lay scattered about the hillside. So, while those people were having a cup of tea, we could see laborers, or they could see laborers who were actually hammering at chunks of rock. See, for example, when the blasting was awkward, yeah, the huge rock got blasted in very big pieces. So the laborers were actually cutting, or the laborers were actually hammering those huge pieces into manageable ones, or manageable blocks. A pile of stones stood ready for loading, while the rock that had just been blasted lay scattered about the hillside. So a pile of stone means one load was actually ready. One load was actually ready for whom? Ready for Preetham Singh and Nadhu, and the rock that had actually just been blasted uh, out of the out of the last blasting lay scattered on the floor. And after Preetham Singh and Nadhu left the place, the laborers would definitely hammer those big rocks into manageable blocks. Okay. Come and have a cup of tea, called out the contractor. So the contractor and the overseer were actually having a cup of tea, and they actually called Preetham and Nadhu in order to have a cup of tea. Get on with the loading, said Preetham. No, we are actually. Then Preetham said that they were actually busy with the loading. I can hang about all afternoon. There is another trip to make, and it gets dark early these days. So Preetham actually or rejected the offer, and he said that he actually wanted to make two more trips. He actually wanted to make one more trip. So there was not enough time to wait there. So in that way, he rejected their offer, and he added that it got dark early these days. But he sat down on a bench and ordered 2 cups of tea from the stall owner. Then he sat down on a bench and ordered 2 cups of tea from the stall owner. The overseer strolled. Strolled means wandering on foot. The overseer strolled over to the group of laborers and told them to start loading. Then suddenly overseer approached the group of laborers and told them to start loading. Yeah, because Preetham Singh's vehicle was waiting there for loads of limestone. So the overseer actually urged or asked the laborers to start loading. Then Nadhu let down the grid at the back of the truck. So Nadhu actually grid at the back of the truck for filling loads of limestone into their vehicle. Okay. Nadhu stood by while the men loaded the truck with limestone rocks. He was glad that he was chubby. Thin people seemed to feel the cold much more like the contractor, a skinny fellow who was shivering in his expensive overcoat. Then Nadhu was standing ahead of the vehicle while the workers were filling the vehicle with limestone rocks. And Nadhu was glad that he was chubby. Chubby means slightly overweight. And what was actually the reason? Thin people seemed to feel the cold much more like the contractor, a skinny fellow who was shivering in his expensive overcoat. So then Nadhu was actually a little bit happy. What was the reason behind his happiness? Yeah, because his findings were actually thin people seem to feel the cold much more. So it was very cold there, and according to his view, or according to his thought, it was like that. It was like that. Yeah, thin people seem to feel the cold much more. Thin people uh, became much more affected with the cold, like the contractor. So contractor was actually a skinny fellow who was shivering in his expensive coat. Even though the contractor was actually wearing an expensive overcoat, he was shivering. Yeah, because he was a skinny fellow. So Nadu was glad that he was chubby, and as a result, yeah, there was little chance of getting too much cold as he was chubby. Okay, now listen. To keep himself warm, Nadu began helping the laborer with the loading. So it was very cold outside. So Nadu decided to help the laborers in order to make himself warm. See, if we are doing something, our body temperature will be high. So in that way, so Nadu decided to help the laborers in order to make himself warm. Don't expect to be paid for that, said the contractor, for whom every extra paisa spent was a paisa of his profits. Then when he started helping the laborers, then the contractor intervened, and contractor said that don't expect any extra payment for that. That means, if yeah, an extra payment uh, should be given there. Yeah, it was actually from his profit. So if he needed to get some extra payments, the contractor had to give that extra payment from his profit. So the contractor was not willing to uh, pay any extra payment, since it would definitely affect his profit. Okay, don't worry, said Nadhu. I don't work for contractors, I work for Preetham Singh. Then Nadhu said that he was Preetham Singh's servant, and he added that Preetham Singh would handle that matter. That's right, called out Preetham. And mind what you say to Nadu, he is nobody's servant. Then Preetham Singh said that that was right, and he also added that don't tell anything to Nadu because Nadu was his servant. It took them almost an hour to fill the truck with stones. The contractor was not happy until there was no space left for a single stone. So it almost took 1 hour in order to fill the truck fully occupied, and the contractor was not happy till he found that there was not even space for a piece of rock to be placed. Okay. Then 4 of the 6 laborers climbed on the pile of stones. They would ride back to the depot on the truck. The contractor, his overseer, and the others would follow by jeep. Let us go, said Preetham, getting behind the steering wheel. So after their vehicle was filled with loads of limestone, they started going back. And 4 laborers climbed on the pile of stones. So the contractor and the overseer and others would follow them by a jeep. Anyway, in that way Preetham started the vehicle, and they were going. I want to be back here and then home by 8 o'clock. I am going to a marriage party tonight. So Preetham Singh said that he wanted to be back here, and or he wanted to go reach home by 8 o'clock because he had a marriage party tonight. Nadu jumped in beside him, banging his door shut. It never opened at a touch. Preetham always joked that his truck was held together with a tape. So when they were about to start the trip, suddenly Nadu jumped in beside him. Nadu was actually banging. Banging means to make sudden loud noise. So he opened the door. He closed the door with a loud voice. It never opened at a touch. So because it was a very 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 old vehicle, so the vehicle was not in proper condition, so it never opened at a touch. if one actually wanted to open the door, yeah, he would have given a long press or something like that. Okay, so he was in good spirits. He started his engine, blew his horn, and burst into a song as the truck started out on the return journey. So suddenly he started the engine and he again blew his horn and burst into a song as the truck started out on the return journey. Then in that way he started their return journey. The laborers were singing too as the truck swung around the sharp bends of the winding mountain road. So in the last class we had seen that the uh, road was actually bending because the road was actually going through the mountain. So it was actually bending type of road, like hairpin roads or something like that. So the truck was actually moving through the bending rods. Another was feeling quite dizzy. Dizzy means having a sensation of turning with a tendency to fall. That means, yeah, because when the vehicle was moving through bending rods, he was having a sensation of turning with a tendency to fall. The door beside him rattled on its hinges. Rattle means the sound that produced by loose objects. The vehicle was an older one, so the door beside him rattled on its hinges. So when as the vehicle was moving, it produced many sounds, several sounds, like rattling sound or something like that. No, not so fast, he said. Oh, said Preetham. And since when did you become nervous about forced driving? Then suddenly Nadu said that don't go so fast. Then Preetham asked, when did you become nervous about fast driving? Because I used to drive. Yeah, because he used to drive very fast and Nadu was his cleaner boy. So Nadu happened to travel with him in similar situations. So that is what he asked him, when did you become nervous about fast driving? Since today, said Nadu. And what's wrong with today? Then Nadu said that today onwards, today I am, he was very afraid of fast driving. And what is wrong with today? Then Preetham asked, what was actually wrong with today? I don't know. It is just that kind of day, I suppose. You're getting old, said Preetham. That's your trouble. Just wait till you get to be my age, said Nadu. No more cheek, said Preetham, and stepped on the accelerator and drove faster. Then again, Preetham Singh asked why he was too much afraid today. Then Nadu said that he did not know what was actually the reason, and he just mentioned a particular day here. And so when he said, Preetham said that, yeah, it might be because of your age, you are getting, it might be because of his age, and he said that he was actually getting old. Anyway, Preetham Singh stepped on the accelerator. That means he accelerated the vehicle and drove faster. As they swung round a bend, Nadu looked out of his window. All he saw was the sky above and the valley below. So, see, actually, the road was actually in between many mountains. So, on one side there was a steep valley, and the other side there was huge mountains or huge rocks. Okay, so as they were actually swung around a bend, Nadu looked out of his window. When Nadu looked out of his window, as they swung round a bend, he could only see the sky above and the valley below, because the vision was not that much clear. They were very near the edge, but it was always like that on this narrow road. So, as Nadu looked out of the window, he saw that the sky above and the valley below, and he found that they were near the edge of the road. After a few more hairpin bends, the road started descending steeply to the valley. So the road was very dangerous. After a few more hairpin bends, the road started descending steeply to the valleys. The road had a sheer precipice. That means it was in a very steep manner. I will just test the brakes, said Preetham and jammed down on them so suddenly that one of the laborers almost fell off at the back. They called out in protest. Then suddenly, Preetham said that he would test the brake, and when he pressed on the brake, suddenly what happened? One of the laborers almost fell off at the back. When he hauled the brake suddenly, one of the laborer almost fell off at the back. So suddenly they called out in protest. They were very much afraid, so they called out in protest. Hang on, shouted Preetham. You are nearly home. Don't try any shortcuts, said Nadu. So then they came to know that they were in danger because the vision was not that much clear, and their vehicle was at the edge of the road, and if they actually lose the control, yeah, their vehicle would have fell into the valley. So suddenly they detected a dangerous situation. Just then a stray mule appeared in the middle of the road. So in that particular situation, there appeared a stray mule. Preetham swung the steering wheel over to his right. Suddenly he turned the steering to his right, but the road turned left. But the road was actually turning left, and the truck went straight over the edge. So, when in the beginning, when Nadu looked out of his window, all he could see was actually the sky above and the valley below. So the vision was not clear, and then they soon realized that they were actually at the near edge of the road, and at the time, just appeared a stray mule. So when here seeing the stray mule, yeah, Preetham just turned the steering to his right side. Yeah, but the road actually turned from there to the left side. So suddenly what may happen? Yeah, when actually the road was actually turning to the left side, but seeing the stray mule, uh, he was too much afraid and he lost his control. He completely forgot what had to be done. So in that way he just turned the steering to his right, but unfortunately the road turned left. So as a result, what might happen? Yeah, the truck went straight over the edge. So suddenly, yeah, when he turned the steering into his right side, there was no road. The road was actually turning to the left side. So as a result, the truck went straight over the edge. Yeah, as it tipped over, hanging for a few seconds on the edge of the cliff, the laborers leapt from the back of the truck. So in that way, yeah, it slipped. The vehicle, the truck slipped over the edge. So as you could see, the image on page number 47, the vehicle just, yeah, just lost its control, and within a few seconds uh, it actually went in a wrong direction. So suddenly the laborers found that the vehicle lost its control, and it was actually moving to a wrong direction. So the laborers actually jumped from the back of the truck. The truck pitched forward, bouncing over the rocks, turning over on its side and rolling over twice before coming to rest against the trunk of a scraggy old oak tree. So in that way, the truck completely lost its control, and it moved forward, bouncing over the rocks. So it was actually a rocky headline or rocky area. So the truck lost its control and it was actually bouncing over the rocks, and in that way, it actually, yeah, lost its control, and it was rolling over twice, and finally it touched on a old oak tree. The idea is very clear on the image on page number 47. So there you could see the truck being hit with a old oak tree. Had it missed the tree, the truck would have plunged a few 100 feet down to the bottom of the gorge. So if there was not a not an oak tree there, if there was not an oak tree there, then definitely the truck would have, yeah, would have fell down to the bottom of the gorge. Okay. Then two laborers sat on the hillside, stunned and badly shaken. So when the laborers found that the truck was actually going to the wrong direction, they jumped from the, yeah, back of the truck, and they were too much shocked, and they were badly shaken. The other two had picked themselves up and were running back to the quarry for help. So the two laborers were completely shocked, and they were completely shaken. The other two had picked themselves up, so they actually woke up and they went back to the quarry field to ask, to call somebody for help. Okay. Nadu had landed in a bed of nettles. What do you mean by nettles? Thorns. Thorns. What do you mean by thorns? Sharp spine of a plant. So Nadu had actually landed in a bed of sharp spine of a plant. So it was actually a valley. So there were so many sharp spine of plants possibly there. So Nadu had actually landed in such a nettle. He was smarting all over, but he was not really hurt. What do you mean by smarting? Smarting means feeling a sharp stinging pain. So we had already seen that Nadu had landed in a bed of nettles. So Nadu actually landed in a sharp spine of a plant. So as a result, yeah, he felt a sharp stinging pain. His first impulse was to get up and run back with the laborers. So the first thing he was actually thinking, to wake up and go back with the laborers. Then he realized that Preetham was still in the truck. If he was not dead, he would certainly be badly injured. Then he suddenly thought about Preetham, and if Preetham was in the truck, yeah, there is no doubt that he would certainly be badly injured, because that much, yeah, it was a very dangerous situation. So if he was not escaped from the truck, yeah, definitely he would possibly be badly injured. Nadu skidded down the steep slope, calling out, "Preetham, Preetham, are you all right?" There was no answer. So suddenly he called, "Preetham, Preetham," but he could not get any answer. Then he saw Preetham's arm and half his body jutting out of the open door of the truck. It was a strange position to be in and half out. When Nadu came nearer, he saw Preetham was jammed in the driver's seat, held there by the steering wheel, which was pressed hard against his chest. Nadu thought he was dead, but he was about to turn away and clamber back up the hill. He saw Preetham open one blackened, swollen eye. It looked straight up at Nadu. So then soon Nadu found or realized that, yeah, Preetham was dangerously caught inside the truck. So as seen on the image, it was a position where half in and half out. So he was actually jammed in the driver's seat, and he was held in a position where, yeah, he was jammed between the steering wheel and driver's seat, and the steering wheel was actually pressed hard against his chest. So looking all these things, Nadu thought he was dead. So Nadu, by observing all these things, Nadu came to the conclusion that Pritam Singh was dead. He was almost dead. But as he was about to turn away and clamber back up the hill, he saw Pritam open one black and swollen eye. It looked straight up at Nadu. So as Nadu was actually turning away and to climb up the hill, he suddenly realized that Pritam just opened his blackened swollen eye, and he was actually looking at Nadu. "Are you alive?" whispered Nadu, terrified. Then Nadu was really shocked to see that. Then Nadu surprisingly asked him whether he was alive. "What do you think?" muttered Pritam. Then when Nadu surprisingly asked him whether he was alive, Pritam was very much annoyed. Pritam, in a very angry manner, asked him, "What do you think? Did you think that I was died?" So in that way he became very much angry. He closed his eye again. When the contractor and his men arrived, it took them almost an hour to get him to a hospital in the town. He had a broken collarbone, a dislocated shoulder, and several fractured ribs. So as we had seen, the two laborers actually ran back to the limestone quarry in order to call somebody else, and when the contractor and the overseer came there, it actually took almost 1 hour to bring Pritam Singh to hospital, and he had a broken collarbone. What do you mean by collarbone? Collarbone is actually the bone which joins the shoulder and the breastbone. Okay, in that way his collarbone had broken, and he had a dislocated shoulder, and almost all the ribs were severely fractured. Okay, but the doctor said he was repairable, which was more than could be said for his truck. But anyway, doctors said that he was repairable. That means, if proper medical care would have given, his life could be saved. But the condition of his truck was very, very, very pity. "The truck's finished," said Pritam when Nadu came to see him a few days later. So when Nadu came to see him a few days later, he said that the truck's finished. "Now I will have to go home and live with my sons, but you can get work on another truck." So when Nadu paid a visit to him after a few days, Pritam said that anyway he decided to go back to his home and to live with his sons, and he said that Nadu could join with other person. Nadu could join with other person in order to get a job as a cleaner boy in some other truck. "No," said Nadu, "I am going home too." Then Nadu said, No. He was also going home. "And what will you do there?" Then Pritam asked, "Then if you went back to your home, then what would he do then? What would he do then?" "I will work on the land. It is better to grow things on the land than to blast things out of it." So here comes the message of this story. So the message of the story, as the writer expected, is conveyed through the dialogue of Nadu here. Nadu suddenly said that it's better to grow things on the land than to blast things out of it. So Nadu said that it was really good to grow things on the land than to destroy the things on the land. So now they were all part of a team who were actually destroying everything on the land. See, when a blasting was occurred there, the life near the blasting area would badly be affected. See, for example, the trees, the life of the trees, the life of small uh, animals, the life of small objects on the earth, life of small worms, everything got affected by this blasting. So in that way he indirectly said that he actually wanted to grow things on the land than to blast things out of it. So till then he was actually one among those people who were actually destroying the land. In a way they were all killing the environment till then. So when he was confronted with such a bad situation, he decided that he wanted to go back to his village, and he wanted to lead a life that was really an eco-friendly. He wanted to lead a life, he wanted to lead an eco-friendly life. Instead of destroying the things on land, he wanted to give life, or he wanted to grow things on the land. Okay. They were silent for some time. Do you know something? Said Preetham finally. But for that tree, the truck would have ended up at the bottom of the hill, and I wouldn't be here, all bandaged up and talking to you. It was the tree that saved me. Remember that, boy? I will remember, said Nadu. Then Preetham also said one thing, that now Preetham said that now he was able to talk to the boy, and it was only, he said, it was only because of that tree. See, actually, if there was not such a tree, then definitely they would have gone into the bottom portion of the valley, and they would die on spot. So it was actually the presence of the tree that saved their life. Okay, so in that way Preetham also said that his decision was right. So in that way the story ended here at a particular point where the writer is giving a message to all the readers that, yeah, every time it is actually the nature that really save our life. So in the life of Preetham Singh also, if there was not a broken oak tree there, he would definitely die on spot. Okay, so this chapter is all about, yeah, leading an eco-friendly life. So our duty in life is not to destroy nature, but to foster it, or but to preserve it. So that is the idea conveyed here. So I hope that you understood everything which we discussed today. Anyway, thank you and have a nice day.